Yes. Okay, my name is William Day. I'm calling from Edward, Colorado. And what's happened is I met Kat, and she told me about this group, so I'm here for the first time.
Oh, did you say me? Okay, I'm Steve Yoshida, and I'm calling in from Hilo, Hawaii on a typical rainy day, but it's just beautiful here. Have a look. So aloha, everybody.
Hi, Steve. Great to see you. So, as we're waiting for Genesis to get started, William, why don't you just give a little bit of background, just like 1 minute, on what is your focus in serving the world?
I'm the founder and director of the Children's World Peace Organization. We started in Mexico 6 years ago, last month. And our focus is working in primary schools to introduce peace skills such as how to resolve resolve conflict peacefully, critical thinking, decision making, cooperation, empathy, those kind of things. And it grew beyond our wildest expectations, and we're now into phase 2, which is turning the program over to schools and letting them run it. It started with our own staff, which got to be very expensive, and it limited our growth. So we're now focused on the United States, and we hope to expand the program here.
Fantastic, William. So great to hear your voice. Hey,
Well, thank you.
Hey, Genesis, are you back on with us now? Okay. So I'll go ahead and invite Ira. Why don't you just say where you're calling from?
Hi, I'm calling in from Northampton, Massachusetts, where it was almost as beautiful as Hawaii today. We had 77 degrees, beautiful sun, and all the spring flowers are out. I've met a lot of you in person, but this is actually my first time on being able to attend one of the Rotary meetings, so it's a pleasure to be able to join you all tonight.
So glad to have you, Ira. So for those of you who don't know Ira and haven't had the pleasure of meeting him in person, your principal focus in your passion in life is?
Preventing nuclear war. I work with Physicians for Social Responsibility here in the United States, an organization that I founded back in 1978, and our international federation, the International Physicians for the Prevention of Nuclear War, of which I'm currently the co-president. Excuse me. And we do education and advocacy work trying to explain to people why, from a medical point of view, there is an imperative that we eliminate all nuclear weapons.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ira. Hey, Bo, are you with us? Do you have volume?
Yes, I'm here.
Great. We're just letting everyone say who they are and where they're calling in from while Genesis is working some of the technology, I guess.
All right.
Nice new hairdo.
Thank you. Yeah. This is Bo Beljean calling in from El Centro, California. Nothing particular happened to me in the recent week. but we did rescue a little kitten at the Humane Society. So that's something probably I would like to share.
And the kitten's name is?
Gilbert.
Gilbert. Charming. Wonderful. All right. Let's see. Genesis, are you back with us now? Well, I'm guessing that Genesis will ask us to do this, so I'll just go ahead and fill in. The four-way test is kind of a basic part of Rotary, so these are the four things that we try to remember in everything we think, say, or do. So, hey, Bo, do you want to say the first one and then any application to what you did this week for law number 1?
Sure. So number 1, just please repeat after me. Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
The truth.
So an application, is it the truth? Oh gosh. This week or this past week, is it the truth? Yes. When rescuing Gilbert, we were often told that it was very difficult to adopt animals from the Humane Society, and that it would be a challenge to take on these animals from the street. And I wanted to believe that it was going to be an easy deal, and it revealed to be very easy. This kitten is fantastic. So yes, it is the truth to believe into something.
Fantastic.
Number 2, is it fair to all concerned?
Is it fair to all concerned?
All concerned.
All right. Would somebody like to share anything about that item?
Let's see. I can. Today, we were supposed to have a meeting for TEDx Vail. One of the members is a mom, and her child had a double ear infection, a flu, and a temperature of 105 degrees. So we reoriented the meeting, made part of it virtual, and still were able to convene. So we looked for the fairest resolution and included technology in the solution. And number 3 is, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Steve, do you want to say anything about that one?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships? That's, I think, what we're about in our club, building goodwill and friendships among our members and other people in the world for the benefit of making it more peaceful.
Fantastic. Do you want to read number 4? Ira, how about you? Number 4. You'll have to unmute yourself. You're still on mute. There you go.
Okay. Yes, so I'm sorry, but I don't know what number 4 is.
Okay, are you looking at the screen right now?
I am. Is it up here someplace?
Yeah, do you see the yellow? It says the four-way test in yellow. Do you see?
No.
You don't
I
see
don't.
that. What are you looking at when you see on your screen?
I'm looking at you
Okay.
in a lovely room with a lot of sunlight behind you.
Okay. Am I the only? Are any other of you able to see the screen share, the four-way test?
Yes, I can see it.
Yep. Okay.
It's in yellow. It's the third block over from me.
So when you look on the bottom, you'll see
Sorry, got it.
little screens, and then you'll see the screen that has the yellow on it. If you click on that, you should be able to see a large screen. So just a technical thing, all of those screens on the bottom, you can make any screen that you want larger just by clicking on it. It will also tell you the name of the person that face is associated with. Okay.
So will it be beneficial to all?
Yeah. So how about you, William? Can you apply that to anything that will it be beneficial to all?
Oh, Well, I can in reference to the Children's World Peace Organization. We work with just the school children directly, but indirectly it benefits parents, relatives, friends, benefits all.
Fantastic. All right, so that's the four-way test. And maybe at the end of this hour, we'll also talk about Think, which is kind of a quantum leap forward in our Rotary, in our virtual Rotary world. So welcome Jamil and also Tom. Tom, I don't think you've had a chance to check in yet. Do we have audio from you?
Yes, hello. This is my first meeting. I missed a couple of them before, but it was a bit of a technical difficulty checking in from China. But it's really nice to be a part of the group, and I'm looking forward to getting online more often with everyone.
Fantastic. We're so glad you could join us from the other side of the planet. And Jamil.
Hi, long time no see.
Right. Where are you checking in from?
Boston.
Fantastic. All right, we have a lot of new faces tonight. And Genesis, are you able to get your audio going now?
Can you hear me now?
You can. It's
okay.
Open to you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks for jumping in.
Yeah.
So actually, today, as I mentioned, we have one of our newer members, Edwin, calling in from Shanghai, and it's really exciting to be able to connect with Edwin and give him a chance to talk more about his involvement with Rotary and why he's joined and some of his greatest passions that he's working on now. So I'm going to turn over the mic to Edwin. Edwin, can you hear us? Are you able to unmute yourself and give us a nice presentation about yourself?
We're still not hearing him.
Okay.
Edwin, I think you're on mute. You need to touch your screen and unmute yourself. No, you're still on mute.
So while Edwin is solving that technical glitch, let me just point out for the benefit of our new members, the way in which, additional ways in which you can use Google Plus Hangouts. On the upper left-hand side, if you move your cursor, you'll see a blue rectangle with 3 white lines. That opens up a chat box that is on the right-hand column of your screen. There you'll find a place that you can add comments and share links. It's an additional dimension. Then when you return to the left-hand side once again on the green rectangle with the white curved arrow, that's if you want to share a screen. So if you'll notice, the third screen is a screen share that Genesis has put together for the meeting today. So if everyone could just click on the third screen, and what you should be seeing there is a picture of Edwin in his suit and blue tie, and then it says speaker presentation, Edwin Ngoi. Is that how you pronounce it, Edwin? We're still not hearing your volume.
I've got him.
You hear him?
Yes, I can hear you, Edwin.
Okay. I'm not hearing him. Is everyone else hearing Edwin?
No, I'm not hearing him either.
Okay.
I can't hear him either.
Okay, Steve, you hear him? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. I can hear you. Everybody put your thumbs up if you can hear Edwin.
Yeah. This is Mr. Edwin Ngoi. I'm a Singaporean. I'm based in Shanghai, and I'm in healthcare and education business. Most of my clients are Chinese big hospitals. and we bring them to Singapore to basically to learn about the international hospital management, surgery, and so on. Basically, I have two sons, and both are one graduate from Cambridge and one graduate from local university, and they are both working in Singapore now. My passion in Rotary actually back in 2006 when I joined Rotary Club was Shanghai because the chartered president is a Singaporean. And then in 2007, I joined Group Study Exchange actually to Denver, Colorado, and where I got to know Patricia Fiske very well. And so that because I'm outgoing project leader to Denver, Colorado, and then Patricia Fiske was the incoming leader for the Group Study Exchange in Denver. And then after that, we begin to build a relationship between Denver and Shanghai, and we started this project called Night Health Fair in Denver, and we bring the concept back to China, and we do a training together with Steve Yoshida, and that's where I got to know Steve Yoshida and Noko Yoshida well back in 2009, right, Steve? I think 2009, and we conducted our first basic health village training to our village clinic doctors and nurses. And then after that, we were able to raise a grant of US 21,000 and for a very remote villages in Yunnan, Longchuan and Linchan, I think. And we did two health village project, which is similar to Nine Health Fair in terms of concept. So I think the project is successfully conducted and done well. And then after that, in 2001, 2, and 13, and so we decided, Patricia Fiske and I, again, we thought that it's good to do Jesse Medical, that we sent 4 medical doctors from China to Denver and to learn about the healthcare in general. So we have me and gentleman from China, from Shanghai, to become an outgoing project leader, and I can become incoming project leader to take care of 4 Denver people to come to Shanghai to learn about something in general about the health system in China. So in 2015 and 16, it was December last year, and also January this year, I joined Steve again in the Myanmar trip. So we spent about 7 days in Myanmar. So I thought that the concept was very good. And then after I saw what Myanmar did, so when I came back to China, so I presented the concept to the actually Roshka Shanghai, Frank Yi, and about the concept. So this time he supported us, and then he said that we can do the similar thing and to do China medical, and then the mission in Chengdu, which is Linchan, so that we're applying a similar concept in Myanmar. The reason why I joined this We Rotary, I think there are 2 reasons. First of all, it's not easy to convince some of our good study our Shanghai club last year to continue to do health-related project, because that's something I want to continue to do, especially for China Health Village project. And so that after we made a discussion among Steve and also Denver people, we thought that it makes sense for me to join We Rotary, and so that we can use our friendship and resources throughout the world. You know, I guess we're throughout the world now, right? We have people from Thailand, Singapore, China, and US, different part of US, and to do a project. It could be in Myanmar, it could be in Thailand, it could be in China. And so that I think that We Rotary, in a way, play a role to link us up. Although we have a little bit of communication problem, you know, it's not easy to join the talk like this. But again, I think it worked out this time. And I'm also a board member. That's part of my Rotary work. All my interests, I like to do charity work. I'm also a board member of this Hacker University of Finland, in Finland. I'm the board member to advise them on the export education from Finland to different part of the world. I'm also a member of Shanghai Singapore Business Club. and so that where sometimes I actively involved in some of the activity. So that the objective today, actually one of the reasons I try my best to join, because I think Steve and Jean Leader, who I strongly encourage, also I met in Myanmar, to take the role. I call her global leader, instead of China project leader, to take the role of global leader and to put us all together, from Hawaii, from Denver, from China, and Jane Ritter actually is based in Alaska, and so that she will take the role, I guess, as a global project leader, to lead the project, and we will support her to continue to raise funds for the China project. I mean, that's basically what I say, Steve. Anything to add?
Edwin, that was fantastic. Thank you so much. Do you have any questions for us about We Rotary that we might be able to answer for you at this point?
I think at this point, a lot of work that we have discussed actually during our Myanmar trip, and I think that we probably need to work with Steve and Noko and Clint, I think, right? And about how we're going to work together as a team, maybe in Seoul, because we're going to meet in Seoul. I think Jane Litter is going to put in Jeddah, what we are going to meet together to discuss the project. So again, this is a very preliminary planning. I think once we're going to meet in Seoul, I think the project plan will become very clear. I'm sure that we Rotary, I guess, Steve, will be heavily involved in this coming China and Myanmar dental and medical mission project.
Steve, would you like to say anything to Edwin so that all of us can hear what you're thinking, being the mastermind?
Yes. This project is, I think, a model of what we can do as a international club. We have other members from Myanmar who have, for the last 3 years, led a medical mission to Myanmar. And last year, I guess it was this year, Edwin and I and Jane Little were members of that mission. And from that mission and discussion, Edwin joined our club, and we discussed ways that we could advance the same kind of medical mission in China. At the same time, our district governor in Hawaii, who has a passion for China, he does business there, wanted to use Rotary Foundation funds that he has discretion over in China on health projects. And so we are getting a grant from the Rotary Foundation to conduct the health fair. And so now our district is involved, and that brings with it the power of many volunteers and a lot more funding for this project. So it all started with an idea, and it spread and among our international members, and now with the support of and experience of our leaders from Myanmar, from Jane, who are our neighbors in Alaska, is our neighbor in Alaska, and from our district, and of course Edwin, as a member of our club, is the key person for the project. We have a substantial project that will be going in April. The dates are already set. The April the 4th to the 7th, there will be a workshop, seminar, and then an actual health mission where doctors will treat people, and there will be health education in this Longshan area near Chengdu, as Edwin mentioned. So in very short time, this came about, and I'm hoping that our members, our new members who join us today, we can do the same. We can try to put together the team that will help in your vision and your ideas of, be it nuclear disarmament, be it literacy education. I will be trying to bring people together. That's sort of my role. As I've been a Rotarian for over 30 years, and now know enough people that I may not be able to do things, but I sure can connect people. So it's very exciting to me, and I'll be getting with you and discussing projects and funding and ways that we can do what we're doing in China. This is, to me, the first of many such projects that we Rotary can really serve to bring people together and to do some good in the world.
Fantastic, Steve. Anyone else have questions for Edwin? Edwin,
Yes.
if no one else has something, I'd like to know from you, how were you personally changed by your experience in Myanmar?
I think the biggest change actually in terms of Myanmar is that we got a lot of actually medical doctors involved in Myanmar medical and dental mission, where the last two projects we did in China, actually we did not really have so many international medical doctors and dental. So I was discussing with Jane and Steve when we were in Myanmar. I said that we should try to get Singapore doctors, because we also know a lot of Singapore doctors. They can be Rotarian or they can be non-Rotarian, and also maybe from the US. And that they may want to come to China to help out in our Rensham project next year. And so that when I went back in February last year, during Chinese New Year, that I went to visit the Rotary Club in Singapore, the Tanling Club. And so that in principle, they like to support. They don't just support in terms, they also like to participate. That they also have some doctors in the club, and also we try to invite some doctors as well. And so that I think the Myanmar and because medical and dental mission, that I think because they have been up and running for 3 years, and so that it does show that a lot of doctors and dental surgeons would like to get involved in this kind of humanitarian mission. So we thought that it's good for us to do a similar project in China. Although China is very advanced in terms of Beijing and Shanghai and Guangzhou, but you also still have a lot, especially minority group, that you'll be surprised that they live in the very poor conditions. The hygiene is not very good, and it's something quite similar to what we saw in Myanmar. And so that I guess that Jane also did a field trip, and she took some pictures here and there. So that I think that she also convinced that this will be a good and sustainable project to do for the minority group of people in China. So this is basically the changes from just doing the simple medical checkup to the changes of doing basically dental and medical mission. I mean that we actually treat people in a simple term, okay, and also provide a drug to people who can't visit us in this year.
Thank you, Edwin. I think Kat had to leave because her audio wasn't working before. She'll come back again, I'm sure. So I'll pick it up here if it's okay. Are there any other questions? One thing you might wonder, as I did, is China is considered the second wealthiest country in the world. Why should we have to have a medical mission for China? Unfortunately, China is very wealthy, but there is a big gap, as with many countries, among the very rich and the very poor. And the very poor, as Edwin has said, are on the same level as the poor that we saw in Myanmar. Their health situation is miserable, and they get very little help from the government at this point. Government is trying, but its priority is taking care of the middle class majority and not the lower class minorities. And so those are the areas that we're working some of the poorest regions of China, and they're very deserving and very necessary to help in those regions. Any other questions? Oh, here's Kat back again.
I just wanted to report to everyone that we are now exceeding our capacity. So, way to go, everyone.
Great.
Actually, I have a question for you, Edwin. I'm curious about if anybody in our club wants to help support your efforts, or if there are particular things that you need help with. Steve, also, you might have some ideas. I think some of our members have really great backgrounds, and they might be able to help. But what exactly do you think you might need help with that maybe some of our members can jump in and help?
I'm glad that everyone can help, can volunteer. I think our meeting, this Steve and I and Jane are going to meet in Seoul. I think we need to put out a plan, a plan how this project is going to be implemented in 1 year from now. So when we have a plan, I guess that we're going to invite a lot of volunteers about what they want to do for this coming mission. The issue is because the plan and the detail are not out yet until we meet in Seoul, and then we need to have some kind of identify the role that each one is going to play in the coming mission. I think when we do that, then the role of everyone will be clear, and then we can invite the Rotary Club member to participate.
Thank you. I can also expand on that.
Shanghai and so on. Steve, where is it?
Go ahead, Steve.
Yes, you may have a master plan, but the district has a very open plan. That is, the money that's being donated from the Rotary Foundation and the district will go towards health education and materials like medicines. And the district wants to send and expose district Rotarians to international service. So they're looking for, in the project, for things that most anyone can do. Of course, we welcome doctors who can treat, dentists who can do dental work, but they need assistance. They need people to take the prescriptions. They need people to register. There are lots of things that you don't have to have medical credentials to do. And so we're looking to create a lot of jobs for any Rotarian who wants to come at their own expense. But once they're on the ground, the two-day workshop will be paid for by the grant, and the expenses in China are very low because these are not very expensive places that we go to naturally. So we're opening this up to anyone who would like to pay their own way to go to Chengdu and join our mission and help out. There will be things for everyone to do.
Thank you, Steve.
I guess that Steve was correct. Actually, I must also continue to thank you, Steve, because Steve have a passion, Patricia Fiske, in this kind of health village project. Also the medical and then the medical and then the mission. So that I guess that whoever, especially now through Hawaii district, the Clean is also very supportive of the idea. Then I think that when this project, it's my belief that when this project kick off, in 2017, China Medical and then the mission, it will be just as sustainable as Myanmar project. Yes, Steve.
Yes. Of course, that sustainability is an important part of receiving the grant from the Rotary Foundation. It's a requirement. And so we're looking at the sustainability of this project by having the workshop, bringing people to train the local people in handling some of the health problems. It was so basic, like hygiene, like basic care, teaching English. We might have a team teaching English, since a lot of the materials will be in English. So there are various ways that we can make it sustainable. Of course, the overall health of the people is something that's important for the sustainability of their economy. And so those are the kinds of key.
Steve, can I hear you?
I think you muted yourself, Steve.
Okay, did you hear about the sustainability? I meant to say that the Rotary Foundation requires a sustainability part of this, and we hope to do that through this workshop. That is, we hope to be able to train local people on how to do things for themselves, so that after the team leaves, and by the way, this medical mission is meant to be one of 3 years. It usually takes that many years to build a local system that's sustainable, and that workshop will bring people to train the local people on basic health issues like sustainability, maybe clean water, hygiene, issues such as that, dental hygiene, and so forth.
Fantastic. Any other questions or comments for Edwin or Steve about the Chinese Health Fair project or the Seoul International Rotary Conference that they are referencing?
Steve, I was wondering, when you do all this training, what kinds of training tools do you use, and how long does the training last?
We have put into the grant funding for 2 days, a 2-day workshop. This is what we did on our first health fair mission. And we concentrate on the training of local, in these rural areas, of course, they have no doctors, so we're looking at the team that assists in childbirth, for example, or maternity health issues. Where we went last time, there was an AIDS crisis, and so we had to teach about how the spreading of AIDS and the preventions needed. It was quite extensive, and the local region supplied those people education to the local intensive training, of course, to pass on, so that they receive the most intense. We had that information available for local people, but in the short time that they could attend the fair, it wasn't enough. So those trainees were the ones to carry forward and in detail teach more of the population, and in many of the other villages that we couldn't get to. So that's the main sustainability idea, is to train the people who will be reaching out in the future.
Neil, are you inquiring because you're thinking of using your filmmaking skills to capture the training and leave a legacy behind afterwards?
No, I mean, I was just, I sort of assumed that if you're doing some training that you needed some materials to train with, and I was thinking maybe they would come from the local government. But no, I mean, I was just curious what kind of tools you use to help train the people, aside from the knowledge you all have.
I
Oh,
think
you're
that
right, Jamil. Go ahead.
In terms of training, right? I think the last time what we had done is Jane Litter, she brought the CPR Actually, it was donated by, I think, Alaska, right? Fire department, so that she brought the sample, and also the how to do CPR, and then she trained the people. And at the end of training, she actually donated this sample, also plus the instruction, how to do CPR to the local fire department. So we are going to do the similar thing. There are certain things are donated. Again, it depends at the end what kind of thing we got donated, what kind of thing that people are willing to do. Some people are expert in CPR, and certain people are, let's say, in drinking problem, and then they have certain material to be shared in terms of help with project related to the theme of what we're trying to do in the dental and medical mission.
I see.
And to further that, we had a number of medical students on the team, and we asked them to prepare posters. With the health fairs that we have in the United States, we have a lot of information that they do too. I think what was really important about it was they don't quite have the same effective system of health education in these rural areas. So we were trying to show a model that could be used for educating people in very rural areas. So these medical students prepared posters in Chinese, and they were displayed throughout the medical mission, and there was a lot of interest among the local people as to the information there. And so we're hoping that those posters and that information can be continued every year and have more people attend as it becomes more popular and as the word spreads about how effective, and how important this information is. We hope that it will spread to many other villages, and local people will take it and embrace it and share it with their neighboring villages, which is what's happened in other parts of the world where we've done this.
Fantastic. All right. Tom or William, do you have any questions for Edwin or Steve?
I don't have any questions, but after living in China for 13 years, I think that what Edwin's doing is great and is really needed, especially in the rural regions of China. I'm sure that it's I support it. It's great.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Tom, where again are you in China?
Currently, I'm in Shanghai, but we've got an office in Xi'an also that I get to quite often, and outside of Chengdu quite a bit, specifically where Edwin is talking about. So it's I think what he's doing is fantastic.
So do you think that you might be able to help when the We Rotary team comes? Would you be able to assist by being in that area as well?
Yeah, I think I would just need to know what those dates are, and then kind of go from there. I think they mentioned April, so I just need to know ahead of time on that.
I think you were talking about April 4th through the 7th, right, Steve?
April 4 to 7.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Edwin, do you remember what the dates were?
I think Jane says. I think what you said is correct, April. But there's that date. I'm not sure it's finalized. That's what Jane proposed, and then that we're going to finalize it in Seoul, I think. And am I right, Steve?
Fantastic. Great, guys. Well, we're making some progress. William, anything on your side?
No questions. I'm just very impressed with what's happening and how you guys connect.
Thank you. Great. Okay, Ira, anything more that you'd like to add or wonder about regarding this project in China as it might relate to anything tangential with no nukes?
It's always been difficult for us to do work on the nuclear weapons issue in China. We have an affiliation with the Chinese Medical Association, but it always seems to be a very formal uh, um, affiliation that has very little content to it. We've not been able to engage significant numbers of Chinese doctors, and I've been sitting here thinking about how this project might perhaps provide something of a bridge to the Chinese medical community. So that's something to think about, and perhaps to talk Steve or with Edwin and Steve about.
Fantastic.
That's great.
I like where you're wondering. It's very exciting. Okay, Genesis, back to you. Are you there?
I'm on now. Yes. Thanks for sharing your story, Edwin, and I also applaud you for what you're doing, and Steve also. It's really kind of wonderful to see what we can do with our Rotary Club and the connections that we can make. Once the project, if you're interested, there should be more information coming out soon after the Seoul conference. So do keep your eye out from either Edwin or Steve about how you can jump in and help with this project itself. I know we're nearing towards the end, so Steve, I'm going to follow up with you. I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the membership, and I really wanted to give you the just wonderful job and what you've been doing with membership and recruitment for the last few months, and we've been pushing really far and hard this time around. So there's quite a bit of new people we're going to hear from within the next upcoming Rotary meetings, similar to Edwin and his passions and his efforts. We're going to learn more about our upcoming new members on their efforts and interest in Rotary. So we'll talk about that, Steve, a little bit later. I do want to close off, though, and we'll close off as Kat had mentioned. We do have, similar to the four-way test, we do have something similar to what we do as well within our club. Kind of makes our club a little special in this case as well. And it's a great idea that came up from Kat. Kat, I'm going to let you take over in this part also, if you wouldn't mind, going through this as well. As soon as we do this, we're going to do this all together, and then following that, we'll do quick checkouts. And when we do check out, maybe we'll do the same thing as we checked in. So Kat, I'm going to go ahead and let you take on the think model that we have for Rotary.
Great. And in order to try to close this out in a timely fashion, why don't we just, before you speak, is it true, is it helpful, is it inspiring, necessary, and ultimately is it kind? So let's just check out each one of us, take one of those things, and very briefly say something about what you're thinking right now as it relates to think and the meeting this evening. So I'll go ahead and start. So before I speak, is it helpful? Is it helpful for me to take the time to listen and really hear what are the concerns and opportunities for connecting people across the world for greater good? And I heard that there is some new openings tonight as a result of the meeting. Okay, Steve, how about you?
On the topic of think?
Yeah, one of the 5 parts of think.
I've been thinking about Einstein's theory of relativity. And it's much too difficult for me. But it's amazing how technology, and thanks to his genius, has advanced technology and forced us to think in new and different ways. The world is not as it seems to us through our senses. There are more things going on in the universe that's being newly discovered, and it's just an amazing world. and and my thoughts are geared toward it, and it's just fascinating.
Thank you, Steve. How about you, Jamil?
No, I mean, I think it sounds like a terrific project, and you know, when I had a quick question. One was that you said April 4th to April 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Is that next? You must be talking about next year.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to give it some thought to see if there's some way that I can contribute to it. But I'm kind of flat out with my own, with the Fragile Island project. But anyway, so, no, but I thought it was really interesting to hear.
Fantastic.
And it's nice to meet, let's see, there are two people, William and Tom, I guess, that I've never met. I've been absent for the last few months.
We're glad to have you back. Thanks, Jamil, for checking out. Ira, what part of think, true, helpful, inspiring, necessary, or kind would you like to relate to as you check out?
Well, I think inspiring. This project just sounds really exciting and inspiring, and I'm just intrigued by the idea of doing medical missionary work in China. Interesting the disparity that Edwin spoke to and that Steve spoke to between the wealth that we all know of that's part of China and the poverty which remains in large areas of China. And really quite inspiring to see this project trying to bring some medical care to those parts of the country.
Thank you so much. Well, Edwin, since everyone's referring to you, let's leave it to you to check out on the think scale of kind, necessary, inspiring, helpful, or true. Is there anything you'd like to say about as you check out?
Okay, I think that this project is necessary because it does really help the minority people who are living in the poor conditions in China. And then I think Rotary Club, we Rotary Club, is able to put all so many clubs together to make a global project. I think are many kinds of many Rotarians I think in the world to do this project.
Thank you so much, Edwin. How about you, William?
Well, when I think of helpful, I try to figure out who all does it help, and this seems to primarily help people in the small villages. I hope you can still hear me out there.
Yeah.
Help people in the small villages, but also the people that are helping and collaborating from different places in China to Denver to all the people on this call. So that's what I thought of.
Super. Lovely having you join us tonight.
Well, thank you. Thank you for letting me.
Bo.
True. This is happening. We're making it happen. We're all online, remote locations. We're gathering our thoughts. Our efforts are going to come together in a very near future. So this is true. This is really happening.
Thanks, Bo. And Bo will be our president starting when? July 1?
July 1st.
Fantastic. And you've been preparing for that and have some ideas for things you'd like to accomplish next year, as Genesis has had such a strong year. This is our second year of We Rotary, and you will be our third president. Yay. All right. And I'll just check out saying, is it kind? I've found that the tone that everyone uses on We Rotary meetings is always so compassionate and deeply caring and kind, and that is a great help for me as I try to make change in my own worlds. So thanks, everyone. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Genesis, do you want to check out then?
Okay, yeah, thanks. Thank you. So I am going to take the I am inspiring in the think. And I think it really is inspiring to just see everybody online, hear about what we're doing in our lives and how we can help each other. It's a contagious thing. Inspiration is a contagious thing to do. So thank you all for joining us today. And we do have a meeting coming up in 2 weeks. And don't forget, we have to actually note our attendance. I'm going to send you an email following this meeting that includes the link to how do you check in and so forth. If you do have any questions, to a new Rotary member coming in, Kimberly. I'm sorry, I can't remember her last name. But Kimberly is a newer member coming in, and we're going to hear more from her in 2 weeks. But thank you again for joining us today, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
I just put the link every